I'm back with another fun-filled video. Today we're going to be doing a production knife. Now this video might seem kind of like a deja vu to you guys. The knife that's in this particular case, I had a black version, all black stonewash version, with aluminum foil, and I exchanged it for the upgrade of the Timascus one, which is the one that I have in here. So I'm going to open it up, and the knife we're talking about is the WEKNIVES Coral. Now, I don't have any specs for this knife, but I am going to do a size comparison so you guys can at least get the idea for that. But if you want to see the specs for this knife, I did do a video on the black aluminum foil version last week. So if you want to find out what the specs are, you can certainly check that video out. But in any case, this is the WEKNIVES Coral. And again, this is a different version of the knife that I've got here. This one is in Timascus, so let's just get a good quick look at it, because this one was way better, and I'm actually kind of sorry that I didn't get this one to begin with, because this is probably the one that I really wanted. So we've got Timascus inlays on both sides. So I put the knife down for a bit. So this knife was made by Cecchini, and this is not the first knife that he's made in this style with this deployment action on it. I'm going to show you right now. The first knife he made was the one called the WEKNIVES Solid, which was an integral knife, meaning it's all one piece. Yeah, so this knife is like all one piece. It's not like the two sandwiched halves together, which is definitely not the case with the WEKNIVES Coral. It's not an integral, as you can see, but it does have some, it's got a really nice back spacer with some milling on it. But the star of the show, obviously, is the Timascus inlays. This is a bead blasted knife. And the form of deployment that I'm talking about is, which is on both knives, is this, which is the spring loaded tab, this thing right here. Basically, it's a tab on the back of the knife with a spring, so it allows you to hide the flipper, the physical flipper, so it doesn't stick up into your pocket. So basically what happens is you take the flipper and you pull it all the way back, keeping your finger away from the frame lock so it'll open nice and easy. But you pull the tab all the way back, and as you can see, it's got a spring on it, and then you just simply press and the knife will fly open. Same thing with the WEKNIVES Coral knife. As you can see, it's got the same exact tab right here on the side. Now, the way this works is that this tab, which is adhered to with a spring, creates leverage, and it is actually taking the back of the blade and pushing it. You know, it's creating a leverage and it's pushing it so you can have it come out. Really ingenious invention by Cecchini. This is not the first knife he's made with this deployment, this type of deployment on it, which is called the spring-loaded tab. The first knife that he made is the 055, which was made in 2007, and he collaborated with ZT for the very first time. Since then, that knife has been discontinued, and they pretty much discontinued that knife, and he continued to improve on the spring-loaded tab with WEKNIVES. So he hooked up with them, made this integral knife called the WEKNIVES Solid, and then just 3 weeks ago, he came out with this knife here, which is the WEKNIVES Coral, which is not an integral, but the action's exactly the same. Both blades actually look very similar, with the exception that they're not one's an integral and one isn't. So one is all one piece, the other one actually has a backspacer on it. But the blade shapes are fairly similar. This one obviously is much, much bigger than the smaller coral. So the solid is obviously bigger than the coral. So if you want to get a better idea of the size of this knife, we can go ahead and do some size comparisons. Quick, short size comparison. So here it is up against the paramilitary. As you can see, the paramilitary definitely is larger. It's kind of hard to see it at this angle, so I kind of like to do it this way so you guys can see how much bigger the other knife is up against the paramilitary. So you can see it falls in as a medium-sized knife, but actually WEKNIVES makes much larger knives than Spyderco, than ZT, and any of the other production companies. So what they consider a small knife, other companies consider a medium-sized knife. So let me show you what I'm talking about. This is the Spyderco Sage. Everybody knows this knife. It's a fantastic knife. It's definitely one of my favorites. The ergonomics on it are absolutely incredible. So this is the WEKNIVES Sage. Now this is considered a medium-sized knife. By other production companies like ZT and Spyderco. But if we put it up against what WEKNIVES calls the small knife, look, it's the same size. Because WEKNIVES is well known for putting knives out that are like over 4 inches in blade length. So they're the only company that puts out these gigantic knives, and they've kind of like redefined what's considered a small knife, a medium knife, and a large knife. I mean, it's just nuts. I mean, just so I'll give you another comparison here. Let's do this. The WEKNIVES Solid. This is obviously a large knife, right? But compared to what Spyderco considers a large knife, I mean, look at that. The size comparisons don't even compare. I mean, this is obviously a much bigger knife, but yet this is what their idea of a large knife is versus what Spyderco and ZT consider as a large knife. Let me give you another real quick one here, just so you guys, because I'm getting kind of off topic, but it is kind of interesting to kind of bring this out. So here's the small knife by Spyderco, right? This is the Spyderco Techno. And I'll continue on with the size comparison, but I just want you guys to see this. So this is the Spyderco Techno, right? We put it up against what WEKNIVES considers a small knife. I mean, it's freaking huge. So even their small knives are considered, I mean, big. It's just hilarious. But, I don't have a problem with the size of the knife. It's just that when you're considering to buy knives from which is an excellent knife company, just keep in mind that when you're buying their knife, if you're gonna buy a small knife, just think of it. Okay, I'm buying a medium-sized knife. If I'm buying a medium-sized knife, okay, if I'm buying a large knife, then it's going to be a really, really big large knife, not a small one. So just like up your scale on what you think is a small knife, a medium knife, and a large knife by WEKNIVES. But anyway, back to the size comparison. So there's the knife, and we put it up against the paramilitary right there. So again, as you can see, the paramilitary obviously is bigger, but not by much, right? Because this is a 3.4-inch blade. This is a 3.2 inch blade. As you can see, and 3.2 is actually considered like medium size by other knife companies. But yeah, so there you go. There it is up against the Spyderco paramilitary. Once again, how about up against the Spyderco Sage? Same exact size. So medium size Spyderco, small knife definitely the same exact size. So let's put that again. And I'm holding them upright because, at an angle it's kind of hard to tell. Because this one's further back than this one, so it looks like this is smaller, but actually they're the same size. Now we're going to go ahead and put it up against the Spyderco Techno. This is what Spartaco considers a small knife, and it's a really small knife compared to, again, WEKNIVES' idea of what a small knife is. So there you go. So yeah, it's a big difference in size comparison when you're getting WEKNIVES. So just to finish off this size comparison, let's put it up against a medium-sized knife again. So we're going to do the paramilitary. You put that back. You want the handles to be even, so there you go. The handles are even, so there you go. So you get a better idea. So there you go. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, push this back a little bit. So there you go. You got large, medium, and small. So in reality, even though this is a small knife by We, it actually falls in the medium category, just so you guys know. Anyway, so this is an all titanium knife. Yeah, this is an all titanium knife. We've got a compound grind on it. It's got the swedge up here on the knife. The ergonomics on this knife is absolutely fantastic. There's two types of ways you can hold this knife. This way, your thumb kind of extends out like a Filipino grip. You know what I mean? Because that's where your thumb would rest when you're using this knife for cuts. Your pinky will basically rest on half of the knife here, but it's still comfortable. If you're not into that grip at all, you could always go up a little bit. Put your ringer finger onto the second finger notch here. Put your middle finger on the first notch, and then your index finger is just going to go and rest right up there on the choil. That's also comfortable. And now your thumb sits comfortably on top of the knife itself for everyday cuts. So, I mean, you've got a choice on how you want to hold it. The action on this knife is absolutely incredible. It runs on ball bearings. And, of course, the spring-loaded tab makes it really easy, and you won't have a pecker. So for those of you guys that are stuck on flippers and really don't want to do a front flipper option, the spring-loaded tab is kind of nice because you kind of get the best of both worlds. You don't have to deal with the pecker sticking in your pocket because the flipper is hidden immediately right after you deploy it. But yet it gives you the look of a front flipper where it looks nice and clean. You don't see any flipper tabs sticking out. So that's one of the real appeals of the knife. I've got some milling on the pocket clip, just one indent there, which is considered milled. Very nice, but on the back is where it's pretty intricate. You've got a crisscross hatch on the back of the back spacer, which is really kind of nice. There are no hot spots on this knife, so ergonomically it feels fantastic. The pocket clip rests comfortably in this curved section of your hand, so there's no hot spots. You could use this for like a good long hour of cutting without feeling any pain or any discomfort when you're using it, because when you're using a knife, actually using it, you're going to be doing the same motion over and over and over again. You don't want to have your hand get tired. So they've worked out the ergonomics on this very, very well. Yeah, the Timascus is brilliant. You've got obviously some yellows. I mean, you got some golds, obviously purple, some blues in there. And the Timascus. What I find unique is that they're starting to close the gap on custom knives and production knives. So those of you guys that will never ever buy a custom knife, one of the main features of getting a custom knife is that they always put inlays on both sides of the knife. And on production knives, up until about maybe 7 years ago, they only put the inlays or the decorative piece, whatever it is, only on one side of the knife. But now they're starting to put it on both sides, which I think is great. WEKNIVES kind of champions it. ZT has yet to do that. Spyderco has done it in some cases where the knife is like all carbon fiber, obviously. So the aesthetic is on both sides of the knife. But when it comes to inlays, more than likely, excuse me, in the old days, production companies didn't want to put the aesthetic on both sides of the knife simply because it's too expensive. And the knife is being put out in mass quantities. We're talking hundreds of these knives with the inlays on both sides. There's a special machine that adheres that to the knife, and that costs money. So they can only afford to do it on one side. But this is where custom knives kind of influence production knives, and then production knives influencing custom knives, and vice versa. So the window is closing between a custom knife and a production knife. So custom knife makers are going to have to come up with more and more new things to keep us interested in buying incredibly high-priced knives. Whereas companies like WEKNIVES, for a production company, yeah, their knives are high-priced, but you're getting a really good taste of some custom work on this thing. So I highly recommend this knife because of the size. The flipper tab really makes it easy. The ergonomics are amazing, and the compound grind is very, very helpful to have. This knife is perfectly fine for doing drawing cuts if you need to do. So the blade is actually good for that. It's, again, it's sort of like a modified compound grind. Can also be looked at as sort of like a drop point, or a modified drop point in some cases. Both production companies and custom knife makers are moving away from just the general blade shapes that we're all kind of used to, which I think is kind of great, because now they're beginning to make knives that are more and more task orientated, and making them more flexible so you can do more things with a knife depending on what kind of grind you get. Whereas, for a drop point, obviously it's going to be used for drawing cuts and regular basic cuts. For a worn clip style blade, it would be more of like a tactical knife for self-defense. And they're kind of making it so that you when you buy a knife, you can do a lot of things with it, and use it for multiple tasks. So yeah, this knife is absolutely fantastic. I do love this, and it's a very addictive thing to flip. I mean, I've been carrying this knife for like, what, 2 weeks now, just because I like that flipper tab so much. So this is the most expensive one in the WEKNIVES lineup. This one comes in at right around $415, so it's pretty much custom price versus the others, which are like right around $293, a little bit under $300, depending on the one that you get. There are 4 different versions of this knife, so you're going to want to check out the WEKNIVES website. This is the most expensive, the WEKNIVES Timascus version. The other versions are bead blasted with marble carbon fiber inlays. And then there's the one that I showed you last week that I exchanged for this knife, which is the black stone washed aluminum foil version. The fact that I had like aluminum foil on it kind of turned me off. So I was like, nah, I don't think I want to keep this one. I got the Timascus one, which was actually the one that I really wanted. But you know how it is when you're a knife collector. You just hesitate, thinking you're going to be satisfied with one. But then when you finally get it, you're not as satisfied. The other versions are, I'm trying to think. Oh my God. I believe... trying to remember. Yeah, there's the marble carbon fiber, the aluminum foil. Oh, there's a black wash version, right, with red marble carbon fiber inlays on it. So that would be the third one that they've got. Yeah. And the fourth one, it just kind of escapes me. I can't remember. But anyway, you're going to want to check out their website. Because they've got 4 different versions of this. Is he going to release it in more versions? I don't know, but yeah, whichever one you get, they're all awesome as far as the aesthetic goes. The actual Timascus, the actual inlay that you get on it, and I like the way he's actually done it, where it covers a good deal of the knife. Yeah. So it runs on ceramic ball bearings, so you don't have to oil it. The word is you don't have to oil it, but I still oil mine a little bit because even though ceramic ball bearings are ball bearings that that do not generate friction, which produce heat, which produce shoddy action, which is why they have ceramic ball bearings, because they stay cool and dry, and you don't ever have to oil them. You still want to oil them anyway, just for the longevity of your knife. Couple of drops in there and you're fine. You don't want to over oil it. Just put a couple of drops and leave it at that. It'll just kind of keep your knife in really good working order. The hardware on this, not too much. I mean, it's not super clean, but you've got 2 screws here for the backspacer, another 2 screws here. The pocket clip, unfortunately, guys, it is not reversible. So it is tip up, right side carry only. Which is kind of one of the downsides of this knife. There's so few lefty knives, and they decided to not make this one even compatible for lefties. So they may do something in the future for those guys that want the knife. But what's interesting is whether you are right-handed, right, or if you're left-handed, not a problem. You can still deploy it. It's just that you're going to have to get used to the pocket clip being strictly on this side of the knife. One of the most interesting things about the WEKNIVES Solid, which I'm kind of glad they didn't do it on this knife because I thought it looked kind of stupid. This is the relief cut for the knife on the WEKNIVES Solid right here. Now the relief cut is there so that the titanium doesn't bend. But here's the thing, just because they had it on one side, I think they wanted to mimic it on the other, and I thought it looked kind of, I don't know. I mean, it looks okay. It just doesn't look right to me. So I'm kind of glad that they didn't do that on this knife. So here it is on this knife. We just have this really cool swedge running down. But then on the other side, there's the relief cut right there. So, and actually on a knife this small, I don't think you really need one for this. But, it is what it is. It's a design. The design is what it is. Similar on the pocket clips with just a 1 indent milled piece there. They didn't want to go too over the top. Because on this knife, the star of the show is the fact that this is all one piece integral. But on this one, they had to put a backspacer on it. So they put a little bit of bling on it with the cross hatch milling on that. So that's really, really nice right there. Really like the look of that. So other than that, check this knife out. Like I said, this one's is it $410 on their website? I actually got it for a really good price, about $360 on eBay from a dealer that actually has a store, real legitimate guy. You don't ever want to buy from like just one, from a person that just has like a knife that happens to be the one that you want and he's selling it for the price that looks reasonable. You want to buy one from somebody, that's legit. I usually buy it from a digital store, a guy that's actually got a business. It just makes more sense that way. But in any case, check this one out. When I buy knives, I really want them to be unique, and I thought that this is really one of the more unique pieces I've ever seen from a production company. And it's just small enough and perfect enough to carry in an office. The ergonomics are really great. Not too intimidating at all. To Asher Wintercorn, hey man, how you doing? Thanks for joining me. Really appreciate it. I have so few people watching my videos these days. I'm just doing this for anybody that's interested in sharing my hobby with me. I don't make money off of this channel. This is just sort of an outlet for me to get all this knowledge, or whatever you want to call it, out, because I love this hobby. In any case, so yeah, that's it for me and this video. For any of the fans that watch my channel and all, I have some news for you, because I've been being hammered by some guys. When are you going to do another wallet video? When are you going to do another wallet video? The answer to that is going to be next week. I will be doing a wallet video, or whenever I actually get the wallet. It's a wallet that I've done before on this channel. Yeah, it's one that I've done on this channel. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's fairly new. They're a fairly new company, and I've done their video only once. And I I really love their wallets, but one of the things I complained about was the fact that they don't have very many offerings as far as the types, what do you call it? They don't have very many offerings as far as variety of wallets, but their wallet build is something that is absolutely awesome, and it's becoming more and more popular. Just to give you a hint of what wallet that is, and I won't say any more. In theory, my opinion, and a lot of people that actually come across this wallet say that it beats the Ridge wallet. And the only thing wrong with that wallet, there's not enough variety, but they're currently working on it. So I've got some news for you guys. I want to get into want me to see me do a wallet video. Watch me next week. I've got a new wallet video coming, yeah, they're putting out new varieties, and I will show you that they're putting out new varieties next week. So in any case, check out the WEKNIVES Coral. I'll show you the box again so you guys can remember it. WEKNIVES Coral knife. There you go. Like I said, this one is really expensive. It was $410. The others are under. Yeah, they're like right around mid 300. I believe one of them is like 320. So it's up high, up there in high price, but it's totally not unreachable for the price you're getting on this knife. I mean, I did an unboxing before, but WEKNIVES does really nice packaging. You get a really nice case. Something that ZT doesn't give you, right? You don't get a case with ZT knives or even Spyderco knives in a lot of cases unless it's a special edition knife. I believe like the knife, like the Spyderco Drunken, they put out a really nice case with that. These guys put this case out with every one of their knives. So you may want to consider going to WEKNIVES. They are made in China. Now, back in my day, which is the 1980s, when you said something was made in China, it was shit. These days, China's really stepped up their game, at least as far as knives go. They are high quality knives. And the packaging, like I said, is fantastic. You get the cleaning cloth, really nice cleaning cloth in here. Fetty Jung, is it Jungi? I hope I said that name correctly. If not, I do apologize. I want to say hi to him also. Like I said, I always want to say hello to everybody on my channel. I have so very few people watching me. So yeah, I mean, you do get a really nice packaging with the WEKNIVES, the nice cleaning cloth. You get a sticker, some card information. So you get stuff with the knife. It's not like you just get the knife in a box and that's it. So nobody beats this company for packaging except their parent company, Civivi. They do the same exact thing. They put out a case with each and every one of the knives, and the case looks just like this, nylon, high quality, very, very nice. Packaging on the box is always good. So yeah, the WEKNIVES Coral, check it out, or at least check out the Coral model on WEKNIVES. I think if you guys are into the small knives, you're really going to want to get this one just because of the size. So, and this knife is brand new. This is one of the more brand new knives from their lineup. They came out with this knife on June 26th. So it's not too old. It's about a month old now, this knife. So definitely consider it. It's one of my favorites. Like I said, I've been carrying this damn thing for 2 weeks, and I've got like hundreds of knives. Some of them custom knives that are like incredibly expensive, and yet every day I see this knife, I'm like, I'm going to carry this again because I just love to sit there and do this all day with the flipper. It's just nuts. So that's it for this video. I will see you guys next week with a new wallet video. I may do another knife video if I find a... No, actually, you know what? Next week I will do another video. I'm going to show you guys every custom South African custom knife that I own. Let's get back to, this is Omar, the custom South African knife maker. I want to get back to that. So I will be bringing out all of my customs that I own, put them right here on this table. I'm going to go through all of them. It's going to take some serious prep work because, believe it or not, I don't remember the names of half the knives that I own. I just know who they're made by. And that's a challenge for any knife collector, is trying to remember the names of every knife you own in your collection. And I've got man, I hate to say this, but I've got like 60 South African custom knives. And you'll be able to get a chance to see that next week, because I'm definitely going to do that video. Thanks again for the shout out, and I'm really glad there are some people that are still watching this channel. I'm trying to get back into this. It was difficult for me to keep the channel going just because I didn't see anybody watching, and I felt like I was talking to myself. But you know what? I'm into this hobby. I really love this hobby, so I've decided to do these videos whether there's anybody watching or not. Maybe I can still build up momentum, with what few people come by to watch me. So, if anybody has any ideas on how they could help me promote my channel more, because I am an old man from the older generation. I'm from the 80s. I'm in my late 50s and don't know anything about social media, or I'm looking for like the easiest, no trouble way to do social media to get my channel out, get it more recognition. Other than that, the only thing I'm doing is I'm trying to, and I haven't done it on this video, I'm trying to keep my videos short so people will want to watch them all the way through, trying to keep them down to about 12 to 15 minutes per video, which is kind of hard for me to do, but I will try and do that in the future. Other than that, this one's ran about an hour, almost a half hour long now, over a half hour long. So I'm going to let you guys go, and I'll see you next week in my next video. I'm going to see you guys in the next video next week on my South African customs, and then the wallets also that I'm going to be showing you. So once again, this is Omar, your South African knife guy. Any questions you have about South African knives, come visit me on this channel. I will do my very best to answer them for you. And thank you so much for watching, and check out the WEKNIVES Coral. If you want to go insane and buy the most expensive, this is the one. Otherwise, you can be content with the other versions. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week in my next video. You guys have a good one, and have a fantastic Sunday morning, man. The sun is just absolutely nice and warm today. So thanks so much, and I'll see you next week.